Blog Talk Radio.
All right, y'all. It is Fantastic Fridays with Jazzie and Sterling and Sonny on Live Radio. What's going on, y'all? Hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday, as this show is called, because it is Friday, March 8, 2019, and it is International Women's Day. So I hope that you guys are making it count, recognizing that, hey, we got a voice too, right? We got something to say, right? We're doing some things, right? Well, hopefully we're going to talk about some really good things that will be of great interest to you around the world, specifically, especially coming out of Metro Atlanta, Tampa Bay areas, and beyond. Today's show is always considered a Freedom Friday conversation of happenings, current events on the political scene, from day-to-day life to all forms of entertainment. So, of course, we have real discussions on this show, so we invite you to be a part of our conversation. Our studio lines are open, 347-826-7520. And guess what? If you need to talk to us on air and you want to be a part of the conversation, make sure you hit the one on your keypad and we'll bring you right on in. And if you're somewhere like at work and you're just not in position to call, but you still want to listen, just go ahead. We're right here live at blogtalkradio.com/loudmouth with two D's, LUDMOUTH, radio. And you can listen to this show. And I am going to open up our online chat. So that way, if you want to do something while you're online, we can make sure to recognize you there too. So for those who have not had an opportunity to hear this show before, hopefully you hear something that connects with you. We've had a lot going on in the world, so there's never a short conversation. And me personally, I try to bring in as much light and balance as possible, because you know what? It can get real hectic just with all of the things that's going on in the world. Isn't that right, Jazzie? Happy Friday!
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Hello,
hi,
darling.
Hi. I said I wasn't coming on the show because I just did a major workout, and I can't breathe. I'm just saying. So.
See, that's not. I'm going to need you to know, we get ready to do our shows on Friday. Stop to be bionic woman. And, guys, when I tell y'all she's either trying to eat fish and choking fish bones or, trying to go get coffee. It's just a lot happening, guys. I already got my coffee.
It's been a month. Let me tell you, because this is International Women's Day, I decided that today would be that day that I would start being this superwoman in great shape, great mental health. But I can't breathe.
It's gonna happen in one day.
I'm trying
to
tell you, I cannot breathe. So I'm gonna mute myself because, honey, I can't breathe, and y'all about to hear a whole lot of heavy, hefty like this. That's not gonna work on the show.
And good people, when I tell you, I'm in the studio trying to get prepared, get on air, get things ready, and Jazzie is just there. She got some chick she done found on YouTube, giving her the business, her to step to the left, step to the right, do all of this, and I'm like, okay, slow down, first day up, don't overdo it. No, but Jazzie there like, come on, babe, do this with me. She got weights in her hands. She stepped about 5 minutes in. She's like, oh my God, this woman is insane. She is crazy. I'm like, wait a minute. She is just on the video doing her part. She didn't ask you to come up.
And
like
let me just say, can I just interject that she is a low cardio fibromyalgia workout instructor. And for those of you that don't know what fibromyalgia is, it's an autoimmune deficiency. And so, my nerves and my joints and my entire being sometimes feels like pins and needles and like I have a Mack truck stuck on my back. So just lifting my legs on certain days are crazy, crazy painful. So today was that I am woman, hear me roar, I can do it. And yet again, I cannot breathe. I'm just saying.
As we say. Sterling, happy Friday, darling. You hear your sister in crime over here just having the day of her life.
Oh, my God, Sterling, save me from
happy
my
Friday.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes,
I can, darling.
All right. Well, I don't know. I was telling my friend that we've invited on the show, and then they'll be in touch with you about that. The only thing that's tough about the show is as we unmute, as we're in different locations around the country. And I said that it's part of the uniqueness of the show, but it also is different from doing where I know that they are from talk radio. They have a long media history, and I said it's totally different than having a producer in the studio point a finger at you or switch your mic on and off to be doing what we do here. But anyway, Happy Friday, man!
Happy Friday! But you know what? This is the beauty of having a virtual studio because you can communicate. Like I'm switching and say, yes, I'm in queue. Hey, yeah, you're unmuted. Let's roll. Let's go. We still get it in. So there's no shortage, right? You know what's so funny?
No.
I do not know.
But I was just warning them that we do have the habit of talking over each other, and there's not that you don't, but the people don't realize that happens in the studio too. But it didn't get cut off. It didn't get cut off.
Though? But we are the view of radio. Somebody had to talk over somebody on the radio, so we decided it would be us.
Well, I want us to move up from the view because since that McCain girl's on there who I can't stomach, I don't even know her name. She's another one with Trump. But anyway, can we move up and be more like the Red Table? Can we be like the Red Table and Jada and her daughter and mother? I really like
that's going to be the
Red Table of Blog. We'll be the Red Table of Blog people. Our own. We're going to get our own.
We're going to be
table.
the loud of radio, online radio.
Okay, but I want to be Willow. Let me do Willow.
Okay, you can be Willow.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
I guess as much as I don't like claiming being the oldest, I guess I have to be mom. I have to be the daddy of the group and be the top.
You
I have to take the mama's role. And I don't mind because, honey, if we all look as good as she does, I mean, that tells you what money can buy. I mean,
let me tell
woman,
you.
But you know what? They got good genes. It wasn't that she started screwing around with her face. Jada, her mom is still a natural element. Jada messed around with her nose and did something up in there a little crazy. But beyond that, honestly, they have really good
you want
genes.
to know what's funny? Now, that we're talking, since I just brought up McCain, and I'm talking about the Will Smith's family and Jada and that. This is, and you know how I love to get off on racism and people being so aloof. But I got to go here for a minute because we were talking about those two groups. I was saying that I adore the Obamas, which, we all do. I know that we all do.
Right.
And then I said, and my other family in the country that I just adore is, I said, Will Smith and his family. And then we got off, and then I said, do you want to know what's funny? I couldn't point my hand at one white family in this country that I admire.
Oh, wow. Well.
Now,
Not
can you
even
tell
about
me
Jimmy.
can you tell
No,
me
not
off
even
the top
Jimmy.
of your head? Can you tell me off the top of your head one family that you have that you can say that quick? I can mention those two families. Families. That's what I'm saying.
I can
families.
say Jimmy Carter and
Okay.
his wife
Okay,
and
I'll give it
daughter.
to you.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. All right, I'll give you
I
that.
have to give it to them. Yeah. Those are those are our Georgia babies,
I mean,
and
that's
they are
pushing,
phenomenal.
That's pushing pretty hard considering he's 90 next to Moses' age.
Yes, but you know what?
cannot.
And still kicking
Methuselah
it. And still
counts too.
kicking it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I agree with you that I like him and Rosamund, but we have to give it to Billy and the mom because they were fun. So I will go there, but isn't that kind of sad? Because I don't admire the Waltons. Now Bezos with Amazon and his wife doing what they're doing, and him flashing his little Willie on the internet to somebody and getting caught. You know, I mean,
oh my God, catch us up. Listen, I have tea today. I don't have coffee, so Sterling, tell the tea. What was that now?
Oh, geez. What happened? Slow
well,
down.
you know that the Bezos, the people that the
Jeff?
family that started Amazon are getting a divorce.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be probably the
He's
biggest
got a big love
divorce.
affair, honey. Yes.
And he's in the middle. His love affair came out, and in the middle of the love affair, there's this big lawsuit with the National Enquirer because the National Enquirer supposedly under the cuff threatened to show he sent his mistress pictures of his Willie.
Right.
Oh my God.
And so in the middle of this is that you've got the richest man in the world. And now leaving his wife for the biggest probably settlement ever, who's been with him, and everybody says she's been with him. She helped write the business plan, if I understand correctly, while they were driving across the country. The woman's going to take him to the cleaners. There's no way around it. And he's having a public affair. He's having a public affair all the way down to showing his Willy Wonka. Okay, so. You know, he's going to the queen.
And they've been married 25 years, too.
Oh,
yeah,
my
and
goodness.
they're married, they have kids. So, I liked him. Okay, the point is, he was one of the people I liked in the country. Okay, so he just went down the tube. Okay, in a quick. That's where you say that was a dive bomb. Okay, he went down quick. Okay.
Well, you know what? And Mrs. Bezos, she's amazing, actually. She actually founded the anti-bullying organization Bystander Revolution. So she's more than just, hey, I'm here to do,
She's fabulous. And, you know, when we're talking about women today, I want to go back. Don't let us forget to mention the CEO of it's not Google, it's the other one, which is the other company, not Google. Oh, Facebook. She works. She works with Mark Steinberg, and I want to talk to her because I like her, and she's from this area. She's from here in the Bay Area.
Oh, really?
If I remember.
Cheryl Sandberg,
Sandberg, yeah.
Well, we could talk about her right now. We don't have to have a, lineup. We could talk about her right now.
The thing is, she has conquered illness, and then she is, think about it, she is right there in one of the biggest industries in the world, if not the most influential industry and influential company in the world.
Yes.
And you
can't even function without
hear,
Facebook, is sad.
And you never really hear only the good. You only hear good about her. I mean, that's so. And you don't hear anything about her family.
Right.
Which is which is okay. That's a good thing. Sometimes if you don't hear about it, it's a good thing.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
You know, because you know have to privacy.
You have got me really thinking. I want to put this out to our listeners, and for those that are of any different culture, any different ethnicity, and any skin color, since our social thought process is to say white or black or Chinese or whatever. And it's so, isn't it weird that we only say white and black and then we name the other person's heritage? It's only white people, black people, and then we go Irish, Chinese, Mexican. We never say, you know, Americans. We Americans are all white or black. It's ridiculous. But my thought process is that you have me thinking, what Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian, white, whatever we want to call it here in America, or period, what family do we admire? I'm blown right now that besides Jimmy Carter and his family.
Well, because I can't tell you that I would have said years ago, you know, that I admired the Kennedys, but as I've read and studied them, I mean, and I do, and there's a part of it that I still admire the family dynasty for them clawing their way up and then having their, you know, their crown jewel or the crown prince made a Catholic president, which was a huge accomplishment at that time. But I was just thinking, I mean, we were gabbing. It was just a casual conversation, you guys, and then I thought to myself, wow, I can't tell you a family that I highly admire in the same way that I'm crazy about Will Smith and Jada, crazy about them, and the way they raised their children. And their children, and now, especially since the Red Table's come out, and now I've fallen in love with Jada's mother. So, and
she's always been real cool.
And all of her personal triumphs to get her where she is today, and to get her daughter where she is today. Then I go to, you know, Barack and Michelle. I love them. And then my other person is Oprah and Stedman and Carol. You know, I mean, so it goes on. And maybe, now let me tell you, maybe, Jazzie,
I'm thinking, like, I'm going through my brain, like, off the cuff.
Because
I'm sort of, like, this is amazing to me.
You can't include, and I'm not saying this negatively, you can't include the Kardashians, for God's sakes, but if, for one thing, they're Armenian, and you know, and I'm not saying that that negative at all. So they're not but they're Anglo-Saxon. I'm just saying. So you can't, even if somebody admired, which I don't, the Kardashians, you can't include them because they're not what we're talking about. And
true that.
I mean, I like Michael Bloomberg, but again, like you said about putting tags on people, immediately we'd have to put the tag that he's in New York. You know, he's an American, New Yorker, Jewish person. Okay, so that's still not back to an Anglo-Saxon.
Wow, this is like a trip. Like I've you know, I have some people, like I have some personal unknown families that I can say, well, I love this family. But then I have to think, oh, but they're interracial. So they're not, like, to say one family, I don't know about that. I feel kind of sad about that, actually.
I have a few on the local level here. I mean, I could give shouts out because she's one. If I was mentioning a woman, and Julie Weintraub, Steve Weintraub from the Gold and Diamond Source. I think they have a lovely family and everything. And then also, you know, I like Mayor Kreisman and his family here on a local level here in St. Pete. So, I mean, I can do it on a local level, but I was truly trying to think.
Like a public power family.
Yeah.
I want to cry right now.
This goes back
I mean, you don't think about it. He's making a very valid point.
Well, and it goes back
and it's not being divisive either.
Well, you can't. I don't admire. the Bidens the way that I'm talking about. Now, you can mention the Bidens, and you can, and there's certain people I could mention, but I'm talking about the way that I look at Will and Jada, and the way I look at the Obamas and their life. The way I want to be them. Look, I want to be them. Well, I don't want to be Joe Biden.
Right.
Okay, but that's
right.
the thing.
Right.
I don't want to be Joe Biden, but I want to be Will Smith. I want to have Jada as my wife. And my partner the way they are as a partnership.
Right.
The same thing goes with I'll be Michelle and be married to Barack, or be Barack married to Michelle. I can't.
Right. I get it.
You, can you tell? I can't. I'm telling you.
Honestly, even though they're in their age, and I think that's one of the reasons why I said Jimmy Carter and his wife is because they have surpassed what anybody thought that they could do because they were so ordinary. He was one of my favorite presidents because he was so ordinary, and he was just amazing. He was just absolutely amazing, and he has done far more out of office than he's done in office. And then for him to be America's idea of Christianity, and then to come out and say, look, number one, there are many things that, we come to church, and he still teaches Sunday school, and we come to church and we say all this, but if you're not doing something in the community, like we said on our Tuesday show, then your Christianity means really what? Number one, that's why he is like the face of Habitat for Humanity, still building houses. In his 90s, this man is still out saying, okay, what do we need to do for the community? And then coming out to say the Bible had absolutely nothing to say about homosexuality. Leave people alone. In his 90s.
Well, and counterbalance. And with that, with counterbalance, if I'm correct, he even, he didn't take him to task, but he basically counteracted what Billy Graham was saying. Because Billy Graham never backed down on his, conservative rhetoric.
Right. I mean,
but Carter is what if I can become a tenth of the human being that he's grown to be, then I'm doing well. Because
his relationship.
Yeah.
And his relationship, Sterling, because one man loving his wife, dedicated, they both love each other, they both care about each other, and both give each other the place to be their individual selves, but they still do so much together. Like, he is my hero of former presidents, but just as a human being, I have always loved him, so I'm going to have to try to dig deep in this. And maybe by the end of the show, I'll have one more.
Well, I didn't really mean for that to be. It's a great question. I didn't mean for it to walk. But what I'm telling you we did the same thing. We were having a very casual conversation. The bucket list came up with because Will Smith stole my idea, and that's okay because I love Will Smith, and it's all right, because I want to have my travel show. But the funny thing is that if you talk to some of my friends down there, they're going, well, I know Sterling wanted to do this show called The Bucket, but I think Will Smith has taken the idea, and it's all right.
Well, Sterling, it's his birthday. He had like a bucket list of things. Like he streamed his live bungee jump across the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. So it kind of stemmed from that, and it became his bucket list of things to do. Yeah, that was a big undertaking, honey.
And guess what? He's going to be able to do a whole different bucket list than I'm going to be able to do. So I'm not worried about it. Okay. I'm not at all. If I get to do
Sterling's bucket.
If I get to do my bucket list that I already have in mind, we're going to have enough fun on our trips. Okay, girls, we won't have to worry. If we would touch up on the back of some hump of a camel with Will, that's all right.
Oh my God.
Okay,
let me tell you, I'm not into
stink.
camels. I'm not into camels, and I'm not into ostriches. Let me tell you.
Right.
So when Jermaine, my oldest son,
Jazzie, you can't tell me that if we had the chance, that
no, I ain't
at
gonna tell
least
what
you
ride
would
one.
be. Yeah, at least you would be there to photograph and enjoy it with me.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take y'all's picture, and I'm gonna be like
I would ride with
the
you on
sand
the
ladies, and I'm gonna walk right beside you.
I will tell you this: I did not get on the my God bless both of their souls because both of my parents are gone. But when the day after we buried my mother. Okay, not the day after she died, the day after we buried it. The first phone call, and I'm talking about 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:45 in the morning. Myron and I get a phone call from my father, who at the time was like 88 or 89 years old. Okay, and he says, boys, go get those tickets to wrestle the Gators at Gatorland.
Jesus.
That was the first thing on my dad's mind the day after my mother was.
I don't even know what that is.
Because she would never let him do it.
Right.
So the minute
that baby felt free to do some things.
The minute he had the chance, look at this. He wasn't wasting no time.
Man.
Now,
I'm not doing a gator.
Just like Jazzie said, she won't ride the back of the camel for the order. Myron and my dad, and I can show you the pictures, wrestled alligator. I did not.
Oh, my God.
I took the pictures. Okay, I took the pictures. And guess what? To this day, I don't regret that I don't have a picture on the back of the alligator.
I don't regret it for you. I'm not, certain things, I am very adventurous. I really am. Certain things I'm just going to do that most people won't. At some point in my life, I am going to jump out of a plane. That's as much jumping as I'm going to do.
Let's do that soon.
Yes, I want to do that soon. That's been on my absolute list to do that, but I'm not bungee jumping. I'm not having that. I have been in a hot air balloon. We're going to take Producer Sonny to a hot air balloon festival very soon in California.
Okay.
So
I'm
we're going to
looking
do
forward
that.
to that.
Yeah,
okay. I'm into that. Now the bungee jumping, I agree with you because I wouldn't want if it was me, if they were underneath me, I would tell them to get their umbrellas out.
Yeah,
and you know what
that.
the picture of that is because they should not be underneath me. If I jump, if I do a bungee jump, because I wouldn't want to be under me. Okay, I'm just trying because it would literally.
You're gonna wet your pants.
Scare,
it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna wet my pants, or it's gonna scare the it right out of me.
Right, I understand. Yeah. So the camel thing, I've seen camels. I've been close to a camel, and they spit, and I'm not with that. I'm so not with that. And then when Jermaine, my oldest son, and I don't do petting zoos because when we went to a petting zoo when Jermaine was about 4 or 5, there was some ostriches. The people walk around showing you the ostriches, and they're huge. They're ginormous. If you've never seen an ostrich in person,
I might ride an ostrich. I might try to do that. I would say I might try to do that. And I would ride the camel. I would do that. But you are not going to get me on an alligator or a crocodile because let me tell you, when they close their jaw,
are you serious? That's it.
No,
you're not getting your arm back.
You are not listening.
That's a
to
lockdown.
Me, okay, the ostrich is huge, and so when we were getting ready to leave, this one ostrich decided he wanted to chase us. Do you understand being chased by a supersized
by that big,
bird?
huge bird?
By big bird?
Cute.
You're being chased by big bird?
Oh, my God. This thing was chasing us and feathers going, and the man was running after to try to get it. So, I'm fine with all of that petting.
that I'll decide on the
just,
spot. Because you know something, you want to hear another, like a disappointment? Have you guys ever been around peacocks?
yes, they're in Hawaii.
Yes.
Okay. Are they not? Okay, they are. We all think that they're incredibly beautiful, and they are to see. But if you're around them, they're a horrible creature.
It's scary.
They're another. Okay, I just wanted to say, not all things that we think are exotic, and this goes, and we can really go off on this statement. Not all things that we think are exotic and beautiful always appear the way they seem.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it's all cool to you clothes. Like when I was a St. Kitts, and I was so captivated by just the relaxation of the island, and I remember riding through the villages and seeing a baby in a bucket bathing outside. I was like, look how cute and innocent. Then I seen these goats, so cute, and I was getting ready to go jump out of the car and head over to them. And Free was like, oh, wild goats, honey, they would chase you. And I was like, oh. And it's just, you just had that moment, you get captivated by the little ones, but just trust to know if the little ones are there, the mamas are close too.
Yeah,
they don't get you.
Yes, it's serious.
So,
they don't get you.
Oh my God, we're
crazy.
crazy.
No, I get it, but but as we do this show, and the next day, I people can come on. I may put the statement on Facebook can somebody tell me a family, because it's the family that we're talking about.
Yes,
that
we need to post that, Sonny. We need to post
that.
We come back with.
That's
because
the challenge.
Here's the point. I want to further it along with a little bit of that, and go and move into even talking about the women. I think that's why the Democratic Party has the shortage of candidates. Because it's very hard
the Democratic
to find
Party?
The Democratic Party, and both parties, really both parties. They don't like because they don't. Let's put it this way, because they don't like. Well, right now they don't want to look. Let's be honest. Right now, both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are not going to sell a black family again. Let's be honest.
Oh, they're pissed. Yeah, they're pissed.
Okay, because they know that if the Democrats choose an African American to be the candidate, we know what's going to happen. Look, we're already being told we're going to be socialists if we're going to be Democrats.
Wow. They're just trying to put the labels on everybody.
Oh yeah, well we have to have the labels. I mean, I feel like if I wanted to put out a T-shirt, that I should just make it look like a label. And just put black, white, Asian, like Jazzie was saying, and they probably sell.
Right,
they would. Popular. Because guess what? We immediately jump to our own label. We'll wear our own label. I mean, I'll run out. We'll run right out and buy a rainbow flag and wear it on our back. But then you say, don't treat me like that. Don't treat me like that. But I'll wear a rainbow flag on my ass.
Right.
Oh my God.
Or don't you dare call me the N-word, but I wear it across my chest.
But you know what's funny? I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love. There is a portion in the movie where they're in the barber shop and the barber said, I think they're in Italy, and the barber says, you know what's wrong with Americans? They have to be told to do everything. If they're not told to do something, they don't know how to live, enjoy, to breathe, to just exist. And they use the example that it's Miller time, so you go buy a beer. You won't go buy the beer until you hear it's Miller time.
Well,
you won't be Sterling until somebody says, "Oh, that's Sterling. That's the wizard. That's the We don't know how to be unless we have labels because we've been so labeled.
Yeah, and that's what I would.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And And if we don't wear it, then we get accused in somebody else. The interesting thing, if I all of a sudden don't want to be labeled, then I'm mistreating the ones that want to wear the label.
Right.
Yes.
Then you say, don't label me.
Right.
Oh, my God. We're whack. We're so whack.
But can I remember when I came back? Remember when I came back from Columbia and I told you? You mentioned the barbershop, and then you mentioned about the that's one of my favorite movies because that movie is all about enjoying life. You know, that's what she goes in pursuit of. And the barbershop that Sebastian and I had gone to in the middle, I was there long enough that I needed a touch-up, girls. You know, and so I'd gone and Sebastian wanted a haircut. So the wonderful part about the barbershop in Columbia and Medellin was they were listening to music and everybody's having a good time. And then it must have been a popular song at the moment. The whole shop, did I tell you this story before? The whole shop stopped and started to dance.
That's the way it should be, right there.
No one got a haircut through the 3 minutes of the song. Because everybody, I mean, I'm talking about the kids that were on the floor sitting with their mothers that were at work with their dads cutting the hair, to the bums that were sitting on the steps outside. All of a sudden, this song comes on, and everyone's on their feet singing. The song goes on.
And that would never, I would say that would very seldom ever happen here. Because we're so we gotta work to live to work. We gotta live to work here in America. We gotta live every day so we can work. Whereas in other countries, it could be the poorest country, they work so that they can live.
You know,
it's so crazy.
I have never in my 39 plus years seen Americans combust into the joy of living like I saw in that barbershop. They just blew up into the joy of being alive. For the song hit their spirit, and they were all up and singing, dancing, and I'm saying we're talking 30 people or more.
I know, right?
And having
I love
fun.
it when
I mean,
exactly,
just pure joy. And no,
but
and you're
so
right.
Funny.
We would never.
Sterling, I remember telling Jazzie that I noticed this vast difference in. I was listening to some music and I was telling her, I said, if you listen to like salsa, you know, Latin music, I don't care if it's some good, bad, and different. It all just sounds joyful. And then it's so strange that if you're listening to like sometimes R&B music, it can give you some highs and it can give you some real lows. And I was like, and then you got the country music, you know. But I always found it very interesting that with the Hispanic culture, period, any music it sounds like that they're producing, whether it's love music or they're going through something, it just doesn't make you feel down. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I just noticed that.
I can tell you this. Now I can tell you this about Latin music, and that this is making our show a little X-rated for a second. Not bad, but since we don't have those censors, I'd say that I would love to be a woman and listen to Latin music because I'm sure that it gets you going. Okay. Because there is no song in the world that, like, when they're going, oh, me papi, oh, my God, and they're just going on, and it's so romantic. I'm like, girl, I am going to have. I'm going to have my moment right now before the guy gets to, you know, and Lelia Iglesias or whatever. If he sings to me one more time, I may have to go.
Lelia Iglesias? Are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. I cannot with you right now. I promise you.
Oh, Jesus. What just happened here? What happened, Shirley? They did it to
I
her.
cannot.
But you know what I'm saying? Honey, they sing, and I'm not even a woman, and I'm wet.
Oh my God! Let me
Christ.
tell you though, Sterling, I've been salsa dancing and an instructor for salsa, for beginning salsa, since 2004. And the one thing I remember when I first started teaching, and I would have people come in from everywhere, I had one of my Asian students was the cutest little thing, and then I had my first classes, I had a little young white couple from Savannah, Georgia. Then I had an older black lady, and, it was very diverse. And so you would have people come in, and they would go, I can't dance, I have 2 left feet, I don't have rhythm. Well, my Asian student said, oh, she was so sweet. She said, no, I cannot do that, because I said, it's all in the hips. I need you to move your hips and bend your knees. And she said, oh, no, I can't do that in my country. We are not allowed to move like that. And I said, well, 2 things here. 1, you're not in your country, and 2, you have hips that can move, and you need to move them. And so it's so ironic that you're talking about it in an intimate way, because I would always use the example of sex. Sex sells everything, and so in this particular case, I said, make love to the music. Not your partner, but make love to the music. How would you like to be enveloped? How would you like to be touched? How would you like to be, all of your senses to come alive in this moment? Where's the climax of movement? And they would just look at me like, oh, my God.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
No,
but it really is that. It takes you over. It moves all of the senses. Like, it's the safest intercourse. You are involving your being, your senses, with either yourself, with the music, and or with the partner, without ever getting any transmitted diseases, and it's the best thing ever. So it's a safe way to touch.
And to watch them. To watch.
It's
and
so
and
wonderful.
I'll tell you, have you ever seen 2 Latin men dance a salsa in the black suits, like they're black, like tuxes together?
Have I ever seen it? Of course. Some of my best instructors during salsa congresses and conferences.
As erotic as they do it with the women. Okay, great.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
nothing. And now I know I lean toward. Remember, I like men. But I don't think that if you watch, I've seen the couples break away into 2 same-sex couples. 2 females and 2 males, and then the 4 of them interact, and then they've done separate shows. This is at a dance show. There is nothing again.
It sounds like you're talking about casino.
I'm going to be on the floor. On those.
I have seen it, and some of the best dancers. I promise you, some of the best male instructors. The one thing I do love about salsa is it can be sensual, and sensuality is really in tune with all of your senses. That's what sensuality is, not sexuality. It's senses. You feel everything, you smell it, you taste it, you're involved in all of your body senses. And I'm telling you, mind you, gay and straight, what I love about salsa is it does not involve the sexuality. It doesn't mean that some people don't get sexually aroused. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that 98% of the time you can dance expressionally, you can dance erotically, sensually, and when you're finished with that dance, you're high-fiving, you're laughing, you're just hugging, because it's just like, we did that. We captured all of the senses, and we were out there having a great time, and we feel good, and we go our way, and that's it. But the beautiful part of it is, a lot of times there really is not a male or female identity in salsa dancing. It's about the dance.
It really is very gender free.
So it does not matter that it's 2 men or 2 women. It's not that environment where we're like, girl, did you see those 2 guys? And oh, they must be gay. And if they are, it's okay. But we don't have that that same platform where you have to be quote unquote heterosexual for you to have a dance partner. Like when I teach and when most people teach, they don't teach gender. You still have some that do, but they don't say, okay, and then the man will lead and then the woman will follow, or vice versa. What I teach is if you are the leader, then here's your step. If you're the follower, then here's your step. And it's better to do that because then it keeps it gender-free where it's just about the dance and the movement. And I'm telling you, it's been some days years ago when I'm like, whew, I feel a little heated. And it was just that flush of feeling because that's what the music and the excitement and the love of it and the eroticism of it does to make the senses go wild. It's a beautiful space. It's an absolute beautiful space. I encourage anybody that's listening that if you have not had an opportunity to take a dance class, salsa to me is one of the best. Stepping is another one. Line dancing is another one. Argentine tango is phenomenal. Now, for me, Argentine tango is one of those dances that I look at that I adore, but it's an upper body closeness, and I don't like people sweating on me, so I don't like to touch people's face. So that's
all right.
I found out.
Funny, but it's the truth.
It's not a dance for me, but it's amazing. It is amazing. You know what? I think right here is a good time for us to take a quick break because we do have to honor our media partners, and we'll be back.
Let's do our ticket giveaway when we come back.
Let's do our ticket giveaway, and then we want to honor some of the great women in our country and in our world for this great and wonderful Women's International Day. So we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Recent auto accident, back pain, neck pain, stress, headaches? Ewing Chiropractic can help. Here at Ewing Chiropractic, our office utilizes an approach of pain relief measures for the treatment of auto accidents, slip and fall, sports, and on-the-job injuries, as well as acute and chronic pain. We can be reached at 678-586-3592 and located at 5459 North Henry Boulevard, Suite C in Stockbridge, Georgia. Healing the injured one spine at a time. We can be reached at ewingchiropractic.com.
Insurance Associates Atlanta, formerly Mathis Insurance Services, is an independent agency offering personal, commercial, life, and health insurance products to meet the needs of your business and your family. We specialize in helping you protect all of your assets, whether you're purchasing insurance for the first time or searching for better products at a better price. Feel free to contact us at 770-483-0310. We're conveniently located at 1030 Remington Drive in Conyers, Georgia. Visit us online at insurance-iaa.com.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Ladies, are you looking for the next best find? Don Shea Shoutique will bring out your inner glam. The lady herself, Miss Don Shea, is dedicated to providing you with the latest in hot Atlanta fashion footwear. It'll make you stand out at every event. In addition to our amazing prices, we are the go-to source for high fashion footwear. So stop by and shop online. We're sure to have the right shoes for you. www.donshay-shoes.com. That's www.donshay-shoes.com. Don Shay's is the only place you can go to still be sane and have a sure side.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Looking to build your credit? Specializing in all-in-one vehicle shoppers who have had challenges in the past, look no further with Bad Credit Card Guru. No matter what your credit history, they're there to help. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, it doesn't matter. If you've been out of bankruptcy, recently divorced, self-employed, had late payments, Bad Credit Card Guru will get you back on the road. Everybody gets approved. Give them a call at 470-272-9926 and look for them on Facebook at Bad Credit Car Guru. And don't forget, let them know you heard it on what? Loudmouth Radio.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Hello, guys. We are back. I love you.
Hey, did everybody just go quiet on me? Early? Jazzie?
We were trying to figure
How
out.
appropriate.
I'm here. I'm ready. You gotta.
No,
you have to
let
tell
me
me.
tell you.
I didn't know whether I could come back. I'm here.
We didn't know what that
Hey.
language was.
You gotta welcome us back, honey. You gotta go welcome.
Hey, honey. Well,
No, Sterling, they welcomed us in a language we didn't understand.
Okay. Well, as we have said and tried to do, and I've given away some, is that it is that time of the year again for turkey legs in Tampa Bay. And we have tickets to the. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. So we have tickets to the wonderful Renaissance Festival in Tampa, Florida. And you can contact us because they're good. We still have many to give away from now until March 31st. And it is open on Saturdays and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come rain or come shine. And like today here, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. There is one Friday. There is one festival Friday, and that is the last weekend on March 29th. So the last weekend of the festival is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, if like you said, Jazzie, if somebody wanted to come from out of town, we would accommodate it. If they want to come into town and go 2 days, we would help them. If they come down, they want tickets from Loudmouth and they're one of our listeners, we'll make sure that they've got tickets to see it over several days if they come in from out of town, as long as they let us know. But
exactly. And it's so much fun.
It
is so much fun.
As I've said over and over, it is out of everything I get to do every year, it is one of the things that over the many years that I look forward to. Miss Robin and I are getting ready to go, and we go several times because even with my diet that I'm fighting hard to maintain because I've only got 8 weeks before I go back to Colombia, and those boys are looking good down in Colombia, and I got to lose some weight. I'm having turkey legs in the meantime.
I am going to have a turkey leg. Let me let y'all know. I know y'all just saw my day one of workout where I couldn't breathe, but I am going to have a turkey leg. We are coming into Tampa. I believe we might actually be in Tampa this week or next week. We're still solidifying some other things that we need to do from Loudmouth side. But we do want to take a day and just enjoy the festival because we missed it the last year and a half, actually almost 2 years, I think. We missed because we were in Hawaii. So we definitely want to get down. But I'm eating a turkey leg. If I got to do some extra squats, which I really couldn't do because my knees are killing me. If I have to work out a little bit more, it's just and anyway. You and I both know if we eat right, and if you're just eating the turkey leg, even though it's grilled, it's not that bad for you. It's all the bread.
Exactly.
You can't have bread. You can't have potatoes. You can't have all the other stuff.
But it's smoked
if you're just
stuff,
having
so it's
the turkey leg, huh?
Yeah.
I said it's smoked, so it's not so bad.
And then we're going to walk around, so you're going to walk it off anyway.
Yeah, but see, I will tell our listeners this, that I will be back, and I will probably eat one at the festival, and then I will have to bring one home with me.
Hey,
so
I
have to do that. And I might, if you win the prize, I might twist your arm and make you feel really bad if you don't bring one back to me.
Wow. Guys, you know what, real quick, I know, right? I want to touch on two
but
things.
That's not really part of winning the tickets. But I said, I might stare at you real heavily and say, boy, I really like turkey legs. You know?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Hint. Okay, Producer Sonny, what were you saying? Because I know you have
I wanted us to, I think Sterling had a good person we can go ahead and highlight for our International Women's Day recognition, which would be Sheryl Sandberg. We'll talk about her. But I wanted to ask her to, we can do the ticket right before we wrap. But I wanted us to touch on something that we talked about a few weeks ago that's had a little momentum and some, it's just one of those things that as things come out, I want us to kind of touch on it because it's been one of the hot topics that we've talked about with the Jess Mullet information that has recently happened. A few we really had
while
a
you
show
guys
that we
talk
talked about that.
I'm going to, Producer Sonny, mute me out because I'm getting ready to eat an apple, and I don't think the listeners want to hear that. I'm just saying.
Oh, my Jesus. I can't. So Sterling, I want to mention Sheryl Sandberg, and then we can talk about Jazzie real quick, and then we can wrap. And I think you used Jazzie as an indication of some giveaway for tickets, which kind of made me trigger that thought.
Okay.
So real quick, Sheryl Sandberg, which Sterling mentioned, we're going to just kind of highlight her for International Women's Day today. She's actually born in Washington, D.C., and she had her education background at Harvard University, where she accumulated a BA and an MBA. And she's now currently the Chief Operating Officer of Facebook, right? She's
and
been a
for
technology
quite a while,
executive.
correct?
Yes, since 2008. So she's been on board there for 11 years now.
Yeah,
okay.
And she's, yeah.
Yes, her political party, she is a Democrat, and she's a board member of Facebook Women for Women, International Center for Global Development. She actually has been a part of Facebook. Actually, her ex-husband, who is now deceased, if I'm not mistaken, had an event, and I think that's where her and Mark Zuckerberg met back in 2007 during a Christmas party. And at the time, he had not really made a formal search for a coup, but after meeting her, he felt that she was going to be a pretty fit. So in March of 2008, they announced her hiring her. She actually was working for Google, so he recruited her from Google.
He kidnapped her kind of away, or
he sure did.
Lured her away from Google.
Yes, he did. And yes, go ahead. What you say, Sterling?
Well, and I was going to say, and then she had been a very, very significant part of Google's growth. So this is a woman that has been, when we think of our society today, not 25 years ago or not 35 years ago or 50 years ago,
current.
When you mention the two names of Google and then Facebook and realize when you're talking about a significant woman, this woman has been involved with both of them.
Yeah.
And with their creation as they are today, their influence and what they've done.
And not even just that. Shortly after her being on, Facebook became very profitable. And she really started overseeing the operations of sales, marketing, the business development aspect, public policy communication, and human resources. So in 2012, she became the 8th member of Facebook's board of directors and became the first woman on the board, talking about gender gap, right? And there was two other things I definitely want to touch on coming off of that.
Producer, you're going in and out. Something happened with your mic. You started sounding like an underground submarine diver.
Sonny, while you're trying to do that, let me talk about something else that she's doing specifically for women. LeanIn.org is a foundation that she's created I believe it was in 2013 is when it was founded, just 6 years ago. And this is dedicated to offering women the ongoing inspiration and support to achieve their goals. So not only does she is involved in everything that Facebook does, but she is totally involved in helping women achieve their goals and reaching. I'm almost sure that she's a big pusher about getting equal pay. Just getting things to be more equal.
Right. Absolutely. And
but
the
leanin.org.
Yes, I'm actually going to post it on our Facebook page. Just speaking about it right now.
And it's ongoing inspiration and support. And she's the founder. Basically, her and Rachel Thomas, they co-founded that with David, with Dave, her husband, I believe. And if I'm not, I think you're correct, Sonny. And didn't she lose her husband?
Yes,
he died.
I
think in 2015, and she did not back away from the business. She stayed on at Facebook, and has continued to thrive there. And they have two, and she's a mother. They have 2 children.
2 kids. Yeah.
So, like I said, she'd probably be maybe, but then look, she's got the tragedy of losing her husband.
Correct. Now, she's at this point, she's worth over $1 billion with her stock holdings in Facebook and other companies. And she gets a salary of about $25 million for Facebook alone. So one of the interesting things, so I am going to post the organization that you just mentioned. I remember right before we went on air, I saw that the U.S. soccer team has just filed a lawsuit. I know we were talking about, women's rights and things of that nature, the gap of wages for women. And the women's soccer team, which has won in previous years and has a very, very, very strong following, had just filed a lawsuit in regards to the soccer team and gender discrimination. So the soccer team itself, there's a huge gap when it comes to men and women's team and the amount of money that they're making. The 20 members of that world champion U.S. women's national team filed a gender discrimination lawsuit with the U.S. Soccer Federation on Friday. So it's interesting to see. I'm glad they did that because there's there's pretty much every major sport, and there's so much diversity of things that we can touch on. But soccer team is a winning soccer team, and there's just some amazing things. But the gaps of wages. How they train, the medical treatment, the coaching they receive, the different things of traveling compared to men is just such a huge gap. So I'm really commend the women for stepping up and doing that. So people like Sheryl Sandberg, she is actually a very good candidate of what we're talking about as far as International Women's Day recognition. So I am going to post sterlingleanin.org, that website and that information, and that she was a great person to touch on today.
And then I think that I also gave you Betty Reed Solskin. Is that how you say her last name?
Betty Reed.
She was from Glamour. Betty Reed. She's my favorite. She's 97 years old. That's why one of my reasons I'm crazy about her. I love the people that. And she is the oldest serving National Park Service ranger. And she wrote the book. Her memoirs were Sign My Name to Freedom, because when she started as a service ranger, that was back during the Jim Crow segregation, and she wasn't. It was totally different back then. I mean, she's 97 years old, and she was Glamour magazine. She was one of the honorees last year because that
I see that. Yes.
And
she's still very active.
And again, where she's founded, she's very involved she established one of the first households in a discriminating California suburb where she fought to be able to live there.
Yes.
She went into basically what we're saying. She went into a white neighborhood and lived in.
Yes. And listen, her family background. She was born in Detroit, but her parents are from Louisiana. So her father was of Creole background, her mother Cajun, and her great grandmother was born in slavery. And so she spent a lot of her early childhood living in New Orleans. Yes.
And she is that's why I said she is one of my favorite people. Like Rosie the Riveter, she goes all the way back that kind of time. And then, like you said, involving her. She's been a military administrator. She's been a civil rights fighter. She's been a California field rep for both the parties. Her party.
Yes,
she was
part of the file clerk for the. Yeah,
she
was part of a union.
Author.
Yes.
She's a songwriter, an author, and then the whole time she has been a ranger in the National Park System. The whole time, basically.
That's amazing.
She's a long service. So she's one of my other favorites. And then with it being women, we cannot let go that the fact that 2 or 3 days ago they're talking about either scrapping the draft, the selective service, unless we start to include women, unless we include women in the draft. They're talking about either scrapping it or we've got to include in the selective service system, which was created during a male-only draft, and now they're saying that if we're going to continue, we have to have women register.
Yes.
For the draft.
What's your thoughts on that?
What's my thoughts on that? I think that if we don't, if we allow doors to still remain closed, any of those doors, then we're allowing for the discrimination. So if we don't allow that door to open, then we're still leaving by having that door closed. Then you're allowing discrimination, to happen. I think that it should happen. I don't see the reason that the orange hair dryer just got rid of the transgender ruling.
Exactly. They're
debating
on that.
If someone wants to serve their nation in the military, I think they should be allowed to have that privilege, and we should be so honored for them to serve us and protect us.
Absolutely.
They're protecting us, and they're honoring us by basically, even though it becomes their job, they're volunteering their services with their life to defend us and our freedom. I don't get the whole worry about what gender they are or if they're transgender, and I don't get it, because if they're willing to go through the training. Now, I will say this, that I do believe that the military, especially since that senator, I don't have her name, just came out and said she was raped by her superior in the military service. I do think that we better step up our game in the military to protect the different genders.
Protect people, right?
Not because I can tell you now. This is we hear about it with the women all the time, but God forbid they talk about. There is a lot of homosexual rape in the military, and that
it is.
It's
such a taboo situation. It's not talked about.
It's such a taboo. They do not want to mention anything homosexual when it comes to the military. So you talk about sweeping, women being raped in the military. You talk about men being raped in the military. You don't hear about that. You do not hear about that. When it's same-sex same sex, and we're not talking gay men raping each other. We're talking about gang rapes, and I know that
Wow.
I have 2 personal victims of that I know of. And that it's never talked about. And so do I think the draft should be opened up? Yes, but and I think this is it's only been mentioned like in the last couple of days, hasn't it? That just came out. That
Yeah,
some
they're
judge,
just talking about it.
Yeah, some
Yes,
judge
they're
is
just
going to
talking
throw
about it.
out it. Yeah, so with this being today's date, I think it's an important thing. But
Well, Stella, let's go ahead and wrap
I
up
don't
on
think
the.
I mean, like I said, Julie Weintraub on. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say for the Renaissance tickets, let's just do this. Let's have our listeners. You can go right onto our. Have you guys go to our Facebook page, Loud Mouth Radio Works, like our page, and post in the comments. Going to post. Sterling, we'll post the image for the Renaissance Festival, and just post within that post, and then share the post on your personal page and say, I would like to have 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing is, now remember, Sonny and Jazzie just let you know that they're going to be going in a week or so, and if they're here and they're going, I'm sure that Robin and I will join them most likely to go to the festival the same day, most likely. And
yes,
so,
that would be perfect.
So if loudmouth listeners and viewers and people in the Bay Area want to join us, we'll make it a loudmouth day at the festival, and then we'll post those pictures. And let me tell you, it is a fun thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
real cool.
Go on to Loudmouth on Facebook. Go on to Sonny or Jazzie's or Sterling, our sites, which are all linked to that, but mostly to try to center it through the network, and then you guys, she said, get posted out. So, because we've got plenty of tickets, and we're already into March, so we want to give tickets away.
That's right. All right, guys.
The more okay, it's that time. It's Friday. It's been a I don't know how the weather. How's the weather up in Atlanta today?
Cool. It's like it's a little bit of an overcast. It's probably close to maybe, I think, might be scraping that 60 today, but it just looks kind of overcast.
It's
probably
beautiful.
60, 64 today.
I will tell you this. I have some work at the church to do later, but I am going to go and sit outside and
it's just beautiful there.
It's absolutely gorgeous here, so I'm going to go. I'm not going to go. I'm going to sit out in my sun area, my patio that I can sun by myself, and then I probably will go over to the pool and dive in the pool later. But and then I have to work. I am not doing this as a bum. I will put in some work time.
Well, we're going to go salsa dancing later because our good friend and sister Deborah is actually performing this weekend, and so there's a Salsa and Bachata Festival in Atlanta, and so we're going to go down and yes, you should be jealous, and since I worked out today, I'm going to continue just a soft dance, maybe 2 dances, whereas I used to dance for 4 to 6 hours a day for 4 to 5 hours, 4 to 5 days a week. Now I can get 2 dances in.
I know there's going to be some beautiful Latin men there. Oh, my God.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, my brother. Yes. I will take pictures for you.
Because I'm not married. Remember, I am, as much as everybody down here feels that I got married when I was in Colombia, the last trip down there, they're all thinking, everybody's in speculation that I got married already. I don't have the ring on my finger yet. I'm ready. I won't tell you that I won't get married. But in the meantime, I'm not married yet, so I can look.
Oh, yes.
And guess what? I have to. I'm like any other person getting ready to walk down the aisle. like you just thought, I have to diet some more to get into that to get into my. Actually, we're not going to wear tuxedos. Did I tell you what kind of wedding that I want to have?
No, tell us.
Pirate themed.
Why would I?
I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married on the pirate. I'm going to get married on the pirate boat here.
Only you,
I can already say that.
Only you.
I got it.
And we will be right there.
I know, and you can wear it, and you will be I know the two of you guys will be so awesome in pirate garb.
Oh my God, I'm already starting looking for mine because I have to be correct.
Guess what? At the Renaissance Festival, that's where I'm going to buy. I'm starting to buy my groom outfit, and guess what? One of the reasons that I went crazy for Sebastian was that for Halloween, not knowing that I'm absolutely gaga over pirates and everything, and Black Sails, the show Black Sails from, I don't know, have you ever seen Black Sail on TV? The series?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, I gotta turn you on to Black Sails, and it's off the Stars channel. But anyways, and I turn around, and on Halloween, I go to look on. He says, "Oh, I want to see my Halloween costume." So I go to look. He's dressed as a pirate. Like he knew, out of history. If I wanted my dream person to come out of history, they would look like a pirate. There it was.
I love it.
And so, anyways, on that note, have a great weekend, everybody. It's Fantastic Friday, and I'm off to sun and get my beautiful. Since I'm lily white, I'm trying to become a little browner.
Yes, come on, my brown man. All right, honey, we love you, and we have enjoyed as always.
Oh, thank God. My genes allow me to tan. I do tan very quickly and very brown. Trust me, that's when you know my genes are there. Okay. Very quickly, I go from white to brown. Let me tell you that.
Jesus. Love you guys. We're out of here, guys.
All right, everyone. Have a great week. Get a hold of us for these tickets.
Jazz Sterling, it's been wonderful. Guys, enjoy your weekend. And remember to follow us on Loudmouth Radio Network on Facebook, Instagram, all those great things. Have a great weekend, guys.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.